race technology. Proudly made in the USA. Unparalleled customer service and support. The choice of champions. King Shocks, the leader in off-road shock technology.
KMC's pursuit of victory has pushed us to the front of the pack, to the brink of destruction, and across the finish line for decades. Regardless of the driver, the vehicle, or the terrain, these are the wheels that will help you win by a landslide. The process of relentlessly redefining performance cannot be learned or taught. It's in our DNA.
Your winter savings start now at 4 Wheel Parts with deals on tires, wheels, and accessories for your rig. Get clearance items and select products for up to 50% off while supplies last, plus up to 20% off Overland products and up to $200 off BFG tires. The deals won't last long, so hurry in to your local 4 Wheel Parts or shop online at 4WP.com.
Stacy Clark here, owner and general manager of Unlimited RV. As racers, we know how important time is. Not bad, kid. 5 seconds faster. As racers, we know how important reliability is. At Unlimited RV, we have lifetime warranty, so you know we've got you covered. At Unlimited RV, we offer nationwide free shipping, so you don't have to waste your time getting into the RV or motorhome for your next big adventure.
La Bufadora, the authentic taste of Baja.
All right, guys, welcome back. We are here once again on Fishgistics with your next update for you guys. It is our Hour 5 update. That means it is 3 p.m. Are you guys all having fun so far at this race? I know it's been pretty exciting so far, at least over here. We have lead change after lead change, and we have some more changes going on right now. We have another lead change. The 7 is back in front. The 83 lost a rear drive shaft with Rob McCachran driving, so the 83 is currently down, changing a drive shaft. We will see how fast Duncan can get that drive shaft changed and get Rob Mack back on the road. So the 83 is down with a broken drive shaft. That means that the 23, Dan McMillan, with Josh Daniel in there right now, is now in second place. They also had 2 flat tires just in the last few miles. So the 23 had 2 flats. They did not lose a position. They were able to get some spares at the McMillan pit, and they're back on the road and going again. We hear there might be a little bit of trouble in the 7. Something's a little bit off. So they are in front right now, but anything can happen in this race. This is a crazy race, and so far we've had a bunch of lead changes. I can't remember the last time we've had this many back and forth lead changes in a race. So this is super exciting. But the 7, Bryce Menzies, with Bryce driving it right, actually, they are at mile 284. That is, let's see, the number 7, Andy was getting in at 360, so that is still Bryce in there. So Bryce is going to go to 360, and then Andy McMillan is going to jump in there. So they are out front. They're in Matomi Wash. This is Matomi Wash down on the bottom here. So that's the furthest south section that this race course goes. So they are in there right now. We're going to see how their race goes. Right behind them, it's Dan McMillan with Josh Daniel in there right now. Josh Daniel and Billy Baruti jumped in there at mile 160. They are going to go back to mile, they're going to go from 160 to 480. And then Dan McMillan is going to get back in that truck. Then, like we just said, we have the 83 back here changing a drive shaft right now. And then behind these bikes right here, we have Cameron Steele in the number 16. So that is going to be Ryan Arciero is going to be jumping in that a little bit later. He'll be getting in at 362. So Cameron and Ryan having a good run right now. They are now in 3rd place. It's going to be your 3rd place trophy truck is going to be the 16. Behind them, look at this gap we have. We've had some attrition already today. We've had some cars burned to the ground. Unfortunately, the Paul Wheel, Toby Price entry, the 46, their car burned to the ground earlier. They were able to get out. Everybody's okay. So that's all that matters there. But look at who we have coming along strong here. We have Larry Rossler soloing this race, going to drive the whole day himself. He's coming along, so he's going to maybe get by the 83. Depends how quick they can get this drive shaft changed. They've already been down for a few minutes, so I think they're going to get going again pretty quick here. Normally a drive shaft probably take about 10 minutes if you have the right tools ready in the door bag. It's basically only 8 nuts or 8 bolts, however you want to look at it, and you can just swap that thing out. All these trucks carry a spare drive shaft on the back, so you can just pull it off real quick, put it in. It's kind of a pretty common change. So Jason Duncan, the co-driver in there, he's done this before. He's going to get that thing changed. And did they just move? Look at that. Just as I was talking about it, they are moving again. So that was about a 10-minute change, maybe a little bit less even for the 83 to get that drive shaft changed. So great job, Jason and Rob. I'm sure Rob's out there helping him. Rob actually works on trophy trucks himself, so he knows how to do it too. So the 83 is going again. They're in. They did get passed by the 16, so they're going to be sitting in 4th position now. Then behind them, like I just said, Larry Rossler is coming. And then it goes back up, and we have the 21L. So they weren't tracking earlier. Their tracker's been kind of on and off, but they are going again. So that is Ricky Johnson driving with Gustavo Vadosola Sr. in there in the 21L. So pretty good for the run for them. They are currently running, what is that, 5th overall? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th overall right now, and 1st in class. Behind them, we have Tim Herps in the number 19 truck. This is Tim driving. He's going to drive all the way to 480, and then Pat Dean is going to jump in the 19 and bring it to the finish. Behind him, we have the 85 and the 85L. The 85 actually had to stop, and they changed out a steering pump at mile 210. So if you guys were watching a little bit ago and you saw the 85 go to 0 miles an hour, they were changing a steering pump. So they actually got that thing changed really fast. Good job to the Lawrence crew. They got that thing changed. The steering pump looks like they're back on the road. They have the other 85, the L entry, the dad right behind them. So he's coming along. Then we have Brock Dickerson. He's here in the 34, followed by the other Desert Assassins truck, the 14. And then behind them, we got a couple bikes. So the first lead, one car, pretty much the same. One car's been in the lead all day that we've been checking. It's been the 138, Kyle Quinn, all day. And he is still in the lead. And let's see, the 204, Christopher Polvardi, your Spec truck leader right now. He's also been in the lead all day pretty much. Let's see, behind them, the 10 is out of the race. So those of you guys looking for Alan Ampudia, Tavo Vadosola, unfortunately, they had a small fire on the truck earlier. They were able to get it out. The truck is okay, but they are out of the race. So the number 10, they're on the highway right there. That's why you see them right there. Unfortunately, the 10 is done. So I think they were able to save most of the paint job on that truck, which if you guys didn't see that thing, you got to check that thing out. It was the nicest paint job I've ever seen in off-road. Hand painted too. A lot of guys do wraps nowadays. That was badass, that paint job. So unfortunately, their race didn't go as well as their paint job did. but you know, that's racing. Behind them, we have Damon Jeffries, Pierce Herbst. And let's go look, while we're down here, let's scroll over and look at the bikes because we're not too far away from the lead bike. So the 7X, once again, Mark Samuels is leading. But check this out. The 3X is kind of reeling them in a little bit. They are a little bit closer than they were the last time we updated, from what I can remember. So the 3X and the 7X, pretty good battle going on here. The 7X hasn't raced for a little while. They took a couple races off, and they're back. But the 3X definitely giving them a run for their money here. This is not an easy cruise to victory here for the 7X. They got to stay on it because the 3X is coming for them. Behind them, they have a little ways back. We have the 225 and another one, the 180 underneath them, and then the 14X. So a little ways back there, but those front two are very close together. The quad race, all right, we have the 7A is updating again. So we have the 103, your first place in the quad class. Then we have the 7A and the 31A. They are your first three quads on the road. They're about mile, what is that, 457 or so. So they're coming along. Pretty good race. You got three quads within a couple miles of each other here. So that's definitely an exciting, going to be an exciting race to the finish, that's for sure. Let's see, what else do we have? I'm going to turn off some of these classes because there's so many people racing here. I want to look at the Pro Moto Ironman because these guys are the gnarly guys we were talking about earlier. These guys are riding the whole race by themselves. So we have the 750. Brennan Wright looks like he is out front right now. So the 750X appears to be your first place Pro Ironman bike rider. Pretty epic. Then we have the 739 and then the 715. So both those guys pretty close together. So you got kind of three, and then it comes back. You got the 785 and the 775. 0 miles an hour right there. You never want to see 0 miles an hour on these trackers. That's never a good sign. But cool to see so many Ironmen this race. There's 20 of these guys, these nut jobs that are trying to ride the whole Baja 1000 themselves. It's just, I don't know, that's crazy, especially on a course that's this tight and technical. So good for them, and I hope most of them can make it to the finish line. Definitely, it's definitely fun to watch, that's for sure. So if we go look at some of the other classes while we're doing updates. Spec truck class. Christopher Polvardi, 204, he is first. Next, we have Pierce Herbst running second in the Spec truck class. And then check this out. Remember I said last update how close all these guys were? Look at how far I have to zoom in just to be able to see who's who here. We have the 238 right here. We got the 299. We have Justin Davis. We have Christian Serapis. All these guys are right on top of each other here. Now, if you want to know who's driving some of these trucks, let's go through the list here. So the 238, let me pull up my notes here. We have Elijah is driving to mile 360. So he's in the car right now. So that is who it says right there. He's in there. The 299, if I don't have it written down for some reason, then the 233, Justin Davis, I do have that one. So he's going to drive all the way to mile 630. So Justin Davis is going all the way to 630, and then his brother's going to hop in, Jeremy Davis, and bring that to the finish. Now the 219, the Christian Serapis entry, this is going to be Caden Wells, he's in a different car. This is Caden McCachran here driving the 219, and he's going to mile 395. So that is Caden McCachran driving the 219 right now, and then Christian Serapis is going to hop in that at mile 395. So we'll kind of keep you guys updated who's in the car all day today. Then we have the 236 and the 263. This is EJ Herbst and Ryan Millen. Now, a funny little note about this truck actually was the pre-runner for the Herbst, for their trophy truck. They used this truck to pre-run all week. This truck has 800 miles on it before it started the race today because they used it as a pre-runner all week. So it's going to be interesting to see if this thing can hold together, and it'll have 1,600 miles on this truck by the end of this race. They didn't prep it. They basically just checked the nuts and bolts real quick yesterday, made sure it was good, and they're running it. So we'll see what happens here. But it's EJ Herbst and Ryan Millen. They're swapping seats all day, just back and forth. They're going to do all day is the plan with the two of them in the truck. So pretty fun, you know, you drive for a little bit, then they switch seats, and that's their plan for the day. So we'll see what happens. But that's pretty cool. That truck had 800 miles on it before it started, and it looks like they're, you know, going pretty good so far. So a couple of the other classes we can look at. Let me go look at some of the UTV classes because I know a lot of you guys out there are interested in the UTV classes. Let's go to the forced induction class. So this is the turbo class, turbo UTV class, has a lot of entries in this class. it's the biggest UTV class out here. So we have, look at this, Austin Weiland is kind of walking away with it right now. He is just on it. Look at him. He has a big lead. He's already over at mile 163, and the next guy behind him is at 145. So he has almost a 20-mile lead this early into the race. He's going to be tough to catch. Remember, though, this is a very long race. This is over 800 miles. You don't want to drive too hard too quick because something can happen. Then you're not in the lead anymore. So you don't want to go too hard too quick. Not saying that he is, but that's a pretty big lead to have already. Now, he might have gotten through a bottleneck faster than everybody else did, too. So we don't know. You know, there could be more to it. But anyways, Austin Weiland is first. Then we got, look at this battle for second place. We got Phil Blurton. We got Edgar Leone here. We got Justin Lambert. And we got PJ Jones. All these guys are within a half a mile or so of each other. Look, 145 to 145.8. They're within 0.8 of a mile of each other. And that's an epic battle for second place between these 4 UTVs in the Pro UTV class. So definitely good battle going on there. Then it comes back a little gap back to some of the other guys. You got Matt Burrows, Ronnie Anderson, and RJ Anderson in there. You got Santiago Creel in here, Alex Baker, and so on. So that's a quick look at the leaders in the in that class. Let's go to the Pro UTV Open class. Try to run through these classes for you guys. Sorry if I'm going too fast, but we're gonna try to look as many classes as we can. Craig Scanlon is your leader in the Pro UTV Open class right now. Following him, we have Wayne Matlock in second place. And then we have a good battle between Brandon Sims and Kristen Matlock. Look at that for third and fourth place right there. All 4 of these cars are Polaris Pro Rs. It's pretty much the only cars that are in this class right now. And good battle going on for third and fourth place between Sims and Kristen. I know there's always a kind of a side battle between Wayne Matlock. For those of you guys that aren't familiar, Wayne Matlock, his wife is Kristen Matlock back here, and they both race. They used to race different classes, and Wayne was in the turbo class before. Kristen was in the NA class, and she actually beat him a lot of the time. Sorry, Wayne. But she would beat him in an NA car. Now they both have NA cars, but they both have Pro Rs. And so far today, Wayne is beating Kristen. But long way to go. We'll see what happens later. Let's see. Some of the other classes we got to check on. We have to check on, you know what class I'm looking for here. Let's look at the 1600 car first because we haven't checked on them for you guys yet. I know there's a lot of 1600 fans out there. So 1600, Martin right here in the 1626. That looks like your lead car right now, followed by, look at this battle. These 4 1600 cars are all on top of each other. We got the 1616, we got the 1666, the 1622, and the 1631. They're battling for second, third, fourth, and fifth place right there. So you have the first car at 122.7 and the next car at 121.5. They're within a mile of each other. So 4 1600 cars within a mile battling for second place right now. That's pretty awesome in the 1600 class. So those guys are having some fun. Now, the class that I really wanted to look at is the class 11s, of course. We always got to check on these guys. And remember, what's the rule? As long as there's a mile per hour next to them, we're happy. We don't care where they are. However, we can see this one is right at 100, so that's a good sign. We have the 1105 doing a whole 6 miles an hour. Yes, that is 6 miles an hour right now, moving at almost mile 100. So he is about 700 miles from the finish. Hopefully he goes a little faster than 6 miles an hour. It's going to be a long time. The 1111 newly inducted Off-Road Hall of Fame, Eric Sloronzo. I always say his last name wrong. The 1111 is moving 14 miles an hour, going twice as fast as the 1105. We have the, I don't know why the 1065 shows up here. That's just weird. The 1100, Alex Gonzalez, is moving again. Good news for them. Then we have the 1106, not moving. Not so good news for them. The 1121 is moving. Good news for them. So definitely cool to see these 11 cars still moving, and hopefully they can keep moving and we can get one of these guys to make it to the finish, because that's what we want to see today, right? We want to see all the 11 cars finish. So I think that pretty much sums up what we got going on right now. We're going to go back to the front for one more check. All right, check this out. So Bryce Menzies' tracker has not updated in 16 minutes here, but the 23 has. The 7's still going to be in front of the 23. So we'll wait till they update again, but the 7 is in front of the 23, because if we look on my tracker, you can see right here, 317, that would be, oh, it just moved right there. So Bryce Menzies is still moving, at 319. You can see he just did that little up to the right. So if we go back and look here, he's literally right up here at mile 300. See the up to the right? That's where he is. And then the 23 is right here. So Bryce Menzies is going to be right here the next time his updates. And he's still in the lead for right now. All right. So, yeah, we're hearing there could be an issue with the 7 also. We did hear that. So we're going to keep an eye on it. Right now, the 7 is still moving. So we will keep you guys updated. If anything changes, we'll find out for our next update. All right. So that's it for our 3 o'clock update. We'll be back at 4 o'clock with your next update. So we'll see you guys in just about 40 minutes with your next update. Thanks for watching, like always, all day here on Fishgistics. We'll see you guys in a little bit.
Your locally owned Bill Alexander Ford has the vehicles you want. F-Series, Bronco, Expedition, Edge, Explorer, Escape, and Ranger. And try our mobile service for light maintenance. We will come to you. For a difference you can count on, visit us in person or go to BillAlexanderFord.com.